This is Jack Wagner in Hollywood with a special program for you and a special wish. Well, for obvious reasons, we're not using our regular theme on this particular show, but instead, we're going to concentrate on the music of Christmas. And what better time of year is there for two brothers to get together and enjoy this lovely music? What I'm leading up to is that my special in-person guest is my brother, Roger Wagner. And to start off our Yuletide show, here is the Wagner Chorale with Jingle Bells.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is wide, go it while you're young. Take the bells tonight and sing this sleighing song. Just when the walk them nag, 40-40 speed, straight into an open sleigh and crack the jingle-bee. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
The Roger Wagner Chorale and Symphonia of London with Jingle Bells to start off our Yuletide show from Hollywood. Well, as I mentioned at the opening of our show, my special guest is going to be my brother, Roger Wagner, and he's right here. Merry Christmas, Roger.
Merry Christmas to you, Jack.
It's nice having you on the show to feature your album, Came Upon a Midnight Clear. And when did you record this? Just last year?
Well, just very recently. I mean, in the last few months. And I had a particularly good group of 24 people that were available at the time. And what came out, I think, is something quite novel for us because contrary to what we did on our first album, which incidentally has been our bestseller, Joy to the World.
Oh, yes.
We gave this album a more symphonic treatment all around and try to provide the greatest variety possible with the best possible titles.
Is this Gesù Bambino, that's an Italian Christmas song, isn't it, Roger?
Yes, it's actually a composed song by a man called Pietro Young, who used to be organist and choirmaster of St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York.
Oh.
But it's become very popular and sung almost everywhere at Christmas.
I noticed in this arrangement, I was listening to the album just before we went on the air, you have kind of an Adeste Fidelis, O Come All Ye Faithful type of introduction. Was this your arrangement?
Well, it's my arrangement. Actually, Jan, though, indicated that in his own composition and as a sort of a counter theme to the melody itself, which gives it a sort of a charm of its own.
Well, let's listen to it right now. The Roger Wagner Chorale from the album It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. This is Gesù Bambino. And there you have Jesu Bambino from the album It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Done for you by the chorale of our special guest and very close relative, Roger Wagner.
Let all sing and rejoice this day.
Well, from the Italian Christmas song we just heard, we go to Germany now for a Christmas song that has been very well known for many years. I'm talking about O Tannenbaum. That means O Christmas Tree. Isn't that right, Roger?
That's right. Well, O Tannenbaum is the story of a tree, and it is also linked to Christmas and has been for many years, and we sing in this country as a Christmas song.
And here is the Roger Wagner Chorale and Symphonia of London, O Tannenbaum.
Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. O Christmas tree, how lovely are thy branches. Your boughs so green in summer grow, stay evergreen through winter snow. O Christmas tree, how lovely are thy
And there is O Tannenbaum, O Christmas Tree, the Roger Wagner Chorale and Symphonia of London from the album we're featuring, called It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. My special guest, Roger Wagner. And Roger, I noticed that there was a good deal amount of brass used in this particular track.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was all brass except for 2 string basses and percussion. We decided, as I said before, to give variety to the album, that we would use different combinations of instruments and placements of voices, and particularly for those who are endeared to stereophonic sound, we thought that by using a double brass chorus in which you hear one brass chorus on one speaker and one on the other, that it would lend itself well to the treatment of several of these numbers, including O Christmas Tree.
Mm-hmm. If you just tuned in, this is Jack Wagner in Hollywood, featuring the music of Christmas from the album It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. My special guest and brother, Roger Wagner. Roger, I think one of the outstanding selections in this album is your arrangement and treatment of Silent Night. And I think there are a couple of special things you might want to tell us about this. We were talking about it before we went on the air, the fact that you integrate a little Brahms lullaby.
Yes, I thought that the Brahms lullaby as a counter theme would fit nicely underneath the solo violin, which plays in the selection, and with a chorus used entirely differently as a sort of a horn section in humming. We used there, of course, a rather lush string tone throughout, trying to keep the number very tranquil in the tradition of this particular number, and using ingenuity in arranging, which would still not detract from the original melody.
And here it is now, Silent Night, the Roger Wagner Chorale. A very beautiful arrangement here on our special Christmas show of Silent Night, done for you by the Roger Wagner Chorale from the album that we're featuring called It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. Right about here, I'd like to play the title selection of your album, Roger. It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. And in auditioning this before we went on the air, I noticed that it is more genuinely religious, probably, than most Christmas renditions are.
Yes, I think it fits into one of those numbers on the album, which has a deep religious feeling. And here we use a particular method in the voices singing in procession, so that you hear them coming from one side to the other, you see, and coming from a distance and fading out. This, I think, is designed for those who have stereo sound, even though you hear some of that in the monaural.
Now, in this selection, we don't have the benefit of the orchestra. This is strictly
Well, no,
a
this is
cappella.
strictly a cappella, beginning with a unison voice and then coming in into parts until it fills out and then ending again in unison, yes.
And we hear them in the background right now. Processional, as it were, the Roger Wagner Chorale, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. And fading away with the familiar strains of It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, the Roger Wagner Chorale. Just beautiful, Roger.
Thank you, Jack.
The title selection of our feature album on our special Christmas show, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, featuring the Roger Wagner Chorale with the Symphonia of London. Well, usually during the course of one of our interviews here on the show, I'll ask the artist how they got started in music and in the business and so on, but it's a little difficult to ask my own brother how he got started because I'm pretty familiar with the whole story. But inasmuch as you are not, I'll ask him for your sake, and perhaps Roger can tell you in his own words about his career. How would you say, Roger, that you actually got started? Was it because of Dad being an organist and being
Yes.
in the...
Yes, I would say that I was raised, as you well know, in an atmosphere of music, with our father being an organist and choir master, and then being launched into actual practice of conducting. I decided to go further than just being an organist and choir master in the church, and I got together a group of select voices and began to arrange for them until it came to the attention of many people, including the symphony here, then Capitol Records, and impresarios all over the country. We aimed to set a high standard of choral interpretation that could not be matched, at least at that time, by any other group.
Almost all of your singers, Roger, are actually capable of being soloists, aren't they?
Well, as a matter of fact, all of those that record are soloists, but they are that category of soloist that still has the ability to blend his voice with another.
Getting back to your background, though, Roger, what about your studies in France and also with Marcel Dupré, the organist?
Yes.
And, of course, something that I'll never forget, when you were 18 years old, at about 6 o'clock every morning, you'd wake up the entire household with the special piano that you had. You'd rigged up with pedals.
Well, as you know, my great love was Bach, and I got a special piano made with organ pedals in order that I could practice in my own home, and I was fanatical about it because my greatest ambition was to become a concert organist. But soon I found out that my temperament would not lend itself to sitting all day practicing a Bach fugue. I had to be with people, and perhaps my forte was in conducting, and so it took a natural course, and that's where I was led to conducting. And now I've not limited myself only to voices, but also to symphony orchestras all over the world, which makes my work more enjoyable, more challenging, and more profitable.
Have you ever included yourself in some of the recordings, playing the organ or
Oh,
singing?
yes. Oh, yes, many times. Since I'm a member of all the unions, I'm able to do these things. I play the celeste, I play the piano, or, special effects, naturally. If it demands a real concert type of interpretation, I hire somebody to do that so that I can devote myself to the conducting. But I have done that. As a matter of fact, on one session here, I had a bass who was supposed to sing a low C, and he didn't have it, and nobody in the room had it except myself, so I did the recording and sang the low C. It was even a little below C, if I recall.
Well, Roger, it's just been wonderful having you on the show here again, particularly to spotlight your current Christmas album, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. And due to the fact that our time is almost up and we have time for perhaps one more selection, let me simply say Merry Christmas to you, Roger.
And Merry Christmas to you, Jack.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Tidings we bring from far and free, from islands of bliss and a Happy New Year. Bring us a piggy pudding, now bring us a piggy pudding, now bring us a piggy pudding, and bring it on here. We won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, so bring some on here. Oh, we all love piggy pudding, we all love piggy pudding, we all love piggy pudding, so bring some on here. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
Again, the Roger Wagner Chorale with the Symphonia of London, and we wish you a Merry Christmas. And that's all the time we have for now. Our special Christmas show from Hollywood with yours truly, Jack Wagner. Merry Christmas. This is Jack Wagner in Hollywood once again. And we have another special show for you featuring music in keeping with the Yuletide season and performed with a modern touch by popular artists, such as our opening number by Stan Kenton and his orchestra. Fabulous big band sound of Stan Kenton from the album A Merry Christmas. That was Good King Wenceslas. And we're giving this album away to Mrs. Helen Dennis of Stewartsville, New Jersey, who just happens to be on the line with me right now. Mrs. Dennis, you listen to WEST in Easton, Pennsylvania, is that right?
That is right, Jack.
How far away is that from Stewartsville?
About 3 miles.
Oh, I see. And what do you do there?
Oh, I have a small antique shop.
Well, how interesting. How long have you been doing that?
Oh, quite a few years.
Well, Mrs. Dennis, I have a free album for you, the Stan Kenton album that we just featured called A Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, I sure will, Jack.
Well, good. Thank you very much for listening to WEST, and a Merry Christmas to you.
Same to you.
Here's a contemporary-type Christmas song written by David Holt and Sammy Kahn. Dean Martin sings The Christmas Blues.
The jingle bells are jingling, the streets are white with snow. The happy crowds are mingling, but there's no one that I know. I'm sure that you'll forgive me if I don't enthuse. I guess I've got the Christmas blues. I've done my window shopping, there's not a store I've missed. But what's the use of stopping when there's no one on your list? You'll know the way I'm feeling when you love and you lose. I guess I've got the Christmas blues. When somebody wants you, somebody needs you, Christmas is a joy of joy. But friends, when you're lonely, you'll find that it's only a thing for little girls and little boys. May all your days be merry, your seasons full of cheer. But till it's January, I'll just go and disappear. Old Santa may have brought you some stars for your shoes, but Santa only brought me the blues. Those brightly packaged, tinsel-covered Christmas blues. Santa may have brought you some stars for your shoes, but Santa only brought me the blues. Those brightly packaged, tinsel-covered Christmas blues.
That was Dean Martin from an album that goes back quite a few years now called Merry Christmas to You, featuring various artists such as Nat King Cole, Frank Sinatra, Margaret Whiting, Billy May, and many others. The Christmas Blues on our show of modern Christmas music here from Hollywood with yours truly, Jack Wagner. And so that Mrs. Jean Ranstead of Wabash, Indiana doesn't have the Christmas blues, we gave her a call to tell her that a free Christmas album is on the way with the compliments of WARU in Peru, Indiana. How does that sound, Mrs. Ranstead?
Just wonderful.
Well, I'm glad you dropped us a line so we could call you. Keep listening now to WARU and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Again, a Sammy Cahn lyric with a Julie Stein melody. One of my favorite modern-day Christmas songs. It's from the album Christmas Carousel. Here's Peggy Lee with the Christmas Waltz.
Frosted window panes, candles gleaming inside, painted candy canes on the tree. Santa's on his way, he's filled his sleigh with things for you and for me. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year dreams come true. And this song of mine in three-quarter time wishes you and yours the same thing too. It's that time of year when the world falls in love. Every song you hear seems to say, Merry Christmas, may your New Year dreams come true. And this song of mine in three-quarter time wishes you and yours the same thing too.
Gee, that's pretty. Peggy Lee with a Christmas Waltz from the album Christmas Carousel, which we're sending to Ruth Hohenstreet of Jefferson City, Missouri, who wrote to KLIK about our show and who's on our beeper phone right now. How are you, Miss Hohenstreet?
Just fine, Jack. How are you?
Just dandy. Is it Mrs. Hohenstreet or Miss Hohen?
Right, Mrs. Hohenstreet.
I see. What does your husband do?
He's the fire inspector and the assistant chief in Jefferson City.
Assistant fire chief.
Right.
Wow, how exciting that must be.
Very.
Do you have any children?
6,
6.
1 daughter, 5 boys.
Wow-wee. Well, you're going to have yourself a busy Christmas then.
Right, we always have a big time.
Oh, I bet you do. Well, I hope you enjoy the Peggy Lee album, Mrs.
I'm
Hohenstreet.
certain I will. And thank you so much for calling.
Certainly, and Merry Christmas to you. Now, here's Nat King Cole with Ralph Carmichael's orchestra and chorus.
Caroling, caroling, now we go. Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the snow. Christmas bells are ringing. Joyous voices sweet and clear sing the sad of heart to cheer. Ding dong, ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the town, Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling up and down, Christmas bells are ringing. Mark ye well the song we sing, gladsome tidings now we bring. Ding dong, ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling, now we go. Caroling, caroling through the snow. Joyous voices sweet and clear sing the sad of heart to cheer. Ding dong, ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing. Ding dong, ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing.
Ralph Carmichael's string orchestra and chorus backing Nat King Cole with a song written a few years ago by the late A.E. Burt. It's called Caroling, Caroling, and it's from the album The Magic of Christmas. And through the magic of radio and the telephone, we have on the line, all the way from Utica, New York, Mrs. Catherine Shanatry.
Hello?
Shanatry on the line. Oh,
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Mrs. Shanatry,
Yes,
this is Jack Wagner in Hollywood, California. Can you hear me?
yes.
I just wanted to call you to wish you a Merry Christmas and to present you with a little gift to extend our appreciation for listening to our show on WIBX.
Oh, you're welcome. I enjoy your program very much.
The Nat King Cole album that we just featured will be in your own personal library within the next day or so, with our compliments.
Well, I'm going to tell you this will be the happiest Christmas because my boy is right at Patrick Air Force Base. And if he does come home Christmas, it'll be the happiest one I've ever had.
Oh, well, I'm delighted to hear that. Well, from all of us here in Hollywood and, of course, for the entire staff of WIBX, we'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas to you and your family, Mrs. Shanatry.
Well, thank you.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Here's an unusual Christmas album by June Christie. It's called This Time of Year, and as it says on the cover here, a delightful program of Christmas season originals arranged and conducted by Pete Rugolo. Words and music by Connie Pierce and Arnold Miller. See what you think. Here's June.
It's a terrible disgrace, all this trash around the place, as the end of the year is drawing near. These are things I can't discard, but it shouldn't be too hard to find a way to use them, since I can't give away or lose them. I'll take the sorrows of last November, make them a part of Christmas Day, color them shiny, bright, and gay, and hang them on the tree. I'll take the quarrels of last September, cold little words all sad and gray, cover them with a silver spray, and hang them on the tree. Every worry, every fear, I'll I'll tie on a string with every tear. Watch them dance in a Christmas light, a year's worth of troubles shining bright. I didn't realize last December they could be used a better way. Paid for then, enjoyed much later. Time is the greatest decorator. Paint those mean things, red and green things, and hang them on the tree.
There it is, June Christie and Pete Rugolo with Hang Them on the Tree. And hanging on the phone in Burbank, California, is Raymond Vincent. How are you, Mr. Vincent?
Hi, Jack. Just call me Ray.
Okay, Ray. According to your card here, you listen to our show over KBLA.
Oh, I sure do. I think it's a wonderful station. I enjoy your show very much, too.
Well, I want to thank you for writing, and I'm happy to tell you that we're going to send you the June Christie album we just featured with our compliments.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, we might also take this opportunity to congratulate KBLA in Burbank for their power increase. They are now broadcasting with 10,000 watts. Thank you very much, Ray, for writing and listening to the show, and Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, Jack. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Now, to neatly wrap up our special Christmas package, here's Frank Sinatra.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay.
Make the Yuletide gay.
From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more.
Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Merry Christmas, Merry
from the album A Jolly Christmas, Frank Sinatra and Gordon Jenkins with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And so with that in mind, this is Jack Wagner, speaking for our engineer George Irwin, all the recording stars, composers, disc jockeys, and listeners who have been our guests this past year, as well as for the entire staff of this station, in wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year.